Hey y'all, welcome back. We're on number 7. We can think of the past as just empty space. There's no way to know. There's no way to confirm. It's above our pay grade. As we know, atoms are made up of mostly empty space. The medical definition for the word atom, which comes from the Greek atomos, indivisible, is the smallest part of an element. An atom consists of a nucleus, which contains protons and neutrons and surrounding electrons. A large number of entities in the atomic nucleus have been identified, and the search continues for others. Imagine yourself, atom, as an atom, just one small part of a group, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. You have a brain, left and right hemisphere, positive and negative thoughts, the surrounding electrons, that's your etheric, your energy body, the meridians, the chakras. The only thing different about you is you have a soul. I hope. Like Adam, all alone in the Garden of Eden with nothing but his rib to keep him company. Wait, are we talking about storybook characters? Or archetypes? Or symbols? Or science? Well, if this is the Word of God, then it should be true on all those levels. And if it is not, then maybe it's part of the tares that have been sown along with the wheat that look just like the wheat and you can't tell until harvest time. It's been said that there are multiple races of man and multiple Adam and Eves, and stories of multiple creators too. Prometheus, he created man, and when things went bad for him, he was like, oh, here's fire. This one, the Word made flesh, the only one, the only creator God willing to join us in a full natural life, birth to death. So that he, like Adam and Eve, were real people, then their DNA would exist today. That's actually the subject of this book. I've done a book report on this one. In The 7 Daughters of Eve, Brian Sykes writes, each of us carries a message from our ancestors in every cell of our body. It's in our DNA, the genetic material that is handed down from generation to generation. Within the DNA is written not only our histories as individuals, but the whole history of the human race. Our DNA does not fade like an ancient parchment. It does not rust in the ground like the sword of a warrior long dead. It is not eroded by wind or rain, nor reduced to ruin by fire and earthquake. It is the traveler from an antique land who lives within us all. Weird. Has anyone taken a DNA test lately? Your genes were inherited equally from both your parents, with the exception of mitochondrial DNA that comes from the mother and the chromosomes that determine sex, which come from the father. If you could confirm these bodies, then we could determine the matriarchal lines that they come from. That everyone comes from. The mother is everything. Jesus even mentioned this, you have a new mother on the cross. You only believe Adam is a masculine name because that's what you've been told. That's how they explained it to us. It means red, ready. The word Esau means red, and Oklahoma means red or red man. I'm not sure because the A at the end. There have been whispers of way back in the day, the black woman who has every color within her, plus every sex, XXY, though she herself an XX. Self-produced, just like we saw in Jurassic Park. Things change. Things can change like that in the blink of an eye. A quantum shift. You are mostly empty space. A quantum shift. And everything changes. This would make Adam's rib. You take a hard thing from this side and drop it straight down, and it becomes a penis. The cells divide. A child is born. Right? And you can see this. Eve, Venus, the V, right? Drop it down, and it becomes a Y chromosome. Again, a penis, a son, twins born to Eve. Which brings us back to the duality. Yin and yang, male and female, black and white, positive and negative. The protons and neutrons are both present in the nucleus of an atom. And you are just one tiny little thing in this mass of humanity. And the adversary wants to devour you. The adversary has been watching ever since Venus was born of her father, Sin. Venus, known as Aphrodite in Greek, because she's a deity with an afro. Sumerian, actually. Eve, Venus, Eve. The Empress. The Empress who comes. Sin is with her when she comes. That's her letter. Sin, Shin. Maybe they pronounce it differently in Hebrew. It's like this one, but backwards. In tarot, the number 3 card is the Empress. Each card has a correlation with the Hebrew letter, and in this case, the letter is the Shin, or Sin character. It's the 4th character of the word Bereshit, the fourth character of the Bible. She has the symbol of Venus. Venus, Eve. There's always a clue when things sound alike. Venus, her true name, her Sumerian name, is Absin, because her father is Sin, the moon god. Sin went with Eve into the garden. He's had his eye on her ever since she dropped from the moon. Venus, known as Aphrodite in the Greek, was carved as a hermaphrodite by Bernini. On the 6th day, Adam and his rib were created. And they were placed in that empty space, the Garden of Eden.